guys, welcome back to Wheelwork. Trust you're doing well as always. Just going to be a quick video today. I've only got about an hour, just over an hour free before my next job arrives. So as you can see, I've just put the Calais up on the hoist behind me. I have got the front wheels off because we're going to do a quick wheel swap on that, but I will show you that further in a later video. But today I just want to fix something on the driveline real quick. I'll just show you what we're going to do. I'm actually going to kill two birds with one stone. The first thing I'm going to do is replace the tailshaft center bearing. So that is completely torn, as you can see through the top. Quite common on these things, and what happens is when you drive, it does that. So that's not really great at all. And while the tail shaft's out, I'm actually going to replace the seal on the back of the transmission too, because that's got a fairly decent leak. I've checked the tail shaft rubber donuts and stuff, they're both okay, front and rear. So we'll leave them. Can you tell that this thing was sitting for ages with how much cobwebs and grass and stuff is all mushed into it? But anyway, that's fine. So anyway, we're just going to rip the tail shaft out. You've seen me do this before. And then we'll knock that seal out, put a new seal in, and then we'll split this tail shaft to do the center bearing. All right, so I've got the tail shaft out, just the 3 bolts on the front and 3 bolts on the back. As you can see, there's so many leaves and stuff around. That's the center bearing, or lack thereof. I have got the seal out of the back of the transmission. Boom. Here is the new seal here. So we'll just go about knocking that in, and then we'll go about splitting the tail shaft to change that center bearing. The transmission oil that was dripping out of the back of this thing was a rank, but don't worry about that. We are going to do some stuff to the transmission in a future episode. But I just wanted to fix that while I had the tail shaft out. We still haven't driven this thing because I've still got the broken suspension in it, as you can see. I've just sort of sat a bolt in there just so I can move the thing around the property and move it on and off the hoist. But you can see this wheel is still, well, this hub is still leaning over pretty bad. But we have driven it on the hoist, and even on the hoist, man, that tail shaft center bearing was just flopping around. So that's why I'm doing that. So yeah, we'll just knock that seal in now. All right, the new seal is in, so that's all good. So now I can put the front section of the shaft in, or the yoke, if that will want to go in. Boom, so that's in. And now we will start working on this thing. So with this tail shaft center bearing, as you can see, it's not really doing very center bearing-y things. First thing you want to do is just mark the tail shaft, because we will be splitting it in the middle. Hold it in the vise by the uni, and then just sort of belt here with a big hammer, and it will split through here. Cool, so 10 seconds of hitting that came out, a little bit of rust on the spline. I do recommend when you put this back together, just put a little bit of grease on here. So we can remove this piece now. We don't need that. So now what I do is I reposition it in the vise and I grab it from here, and then you end up banging on this section of the center bearing to knock that off. Right, yeah, another 10 seconds of banging, and that bit's off. Junk. So we'll just give this a little bit of a clean up now. Then we'll go through and bang this one on. Here's our new one. You want to hit it on by banging on the inner race of the bearing. Do not try and go on the outer race because you'll stuff it. So we'll get that on there, and then we'll bang this back on, and we'll refit it to the car. That's it, guys, all done. Gave the back of the auto a very quick clean. Also took out the exhaust mount that was here. There was a rubber that picks up this point here, and the rubber was missing, as they always are on Commodores. So I just removed it because down the track we're not going to need that mount anyway. Yeah, got that seal in, and obviously the new center bearing, which was the big issue under here. Well, there's a lot more bigger issues under here. But anyway, we're not going to look at that. We're just looking at this for now. So yeah, that's all done, all good. Thanks for watching, guys. As I said, just a quick video today of just doing a couple of little things while I had an hour to kill. So yeah, so that's that. If you like what you see, remember to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode in the skid car build.